right, Buck, you go. Okay, so I'll just remind everyone, I'm looking through, I see a few people that we haven't seen before. We would certainly want to welcome you. Love to see the familiar faces as well. I see a lot of you that I've come to love over the time, and I'm so happy to see your faces. My name's Lori Anderson. I'm with Alexander Art, and Buck and I have worked closely together for about 32 years now. And
now it's 6 feet apart.
Yeah, now it's 6 feet apart. Well, that would be better than the miles apart that we've always had to put, Buck.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Anyway, we've worked together for a long time and love working together, and love bringing these programs to you. I want to certainly say thank you to Buck for his willingness to come on and share whatever it is that he's going to share with us today. We know we're going to learn, and we're so appreciative of you, especially at this time, to be so willing to come on.
Thank you. It really is a great opportunity for me, because I've looked down my halls and I've found work that needs to be done. And gee, to do it in front of the people makes me be even a little more consistent. And that is great. Is Caroline Seamers, did she get on?
Caroline, are you on?
Oh, gee, I gave her the number and everything. She's a great friend from back east, and we did a lot of work in anticipation of having some paintings in the Cincinnati Reds stadium gallery. I do have a Pete Rose painting in the Pete Rose gallery at the stadium. Anyway, we got others. Now let's go ahead. Anyway, what I want to do today, and what I liked about this, is taking a painting that, in this case, has made the wall. I'll tell you how much it has made the wall. It, the series we've talked about that we've completed has, I don't know if it's 5 or 6, Lori, paintings in it, but gosh, they're so good. They're carefully done, they're edited, and they're to completion. Okay, now I had one of the paintings in that set that was not start to finish. It was one that I'd painted on before, and I made it better. So therefore, the painting made the wall until I walked down I call the wall just sitting on the floor up in the attic here. I walked down it and I saw it and I thought, uh-oh, I need to do something else. So, Lori.
Yes.
This is the surprise. Have you seen this one before?
I have seen this one before.
So when I look at this, what I felt was this is nice, but gosh, it's just so isolated. So what I wanted to do was to move this over a little bit, do it with chalk. And you may not see the chalk. Can you see the chalk? Yeah, you can see the chalk. And we're going to move the rock over, and the rock actually will be more a part of the cliff. So it's not just sitting out there alone. Nothing wrong with it being alone, but it doesn't have quite what I want. So let's see if this works. I you know, something like this where you haven't done before, I'm learning with you. So let's bring the paint up, and I first have mixed ultramarine blue and white, and this is to give me kind of the foam color. So I'll put this in here. Oof, it's almost scary getting rid of that rock, which was quite nice. And I'm going to just hit that a little bit. This is why it takes courage to be an artist. Okay, now I want to, and I'll come back to that foam in a minute, but I want to take some, are you Van Dyke Brown? Yes, Van Dyke Brown, and we'll put over here so there's a rock that the big wave is hitting against. And we'll put some over here too, so they're not such a difference in value there. And notice how I leave just a little bit opening there because I want the foam to come rushing down through that. Okay, now let's see. We're just a little strong here. I'll wipe this out so that when the next paint I put on, we'll have more a chance to show. So let's take a fan brush, one of my favorite toys, and I'm going to mix, let's see, this is white and yellow ochre and a touch of the first color that I put on here. So this will be my splash up foam color. And let's see where you are, right here. We'll go just a little bit above that rock, just a little bit. I'll blend these two together, the blue there, and see, we can go lighter. This is just all the building process. I'll take some of that blue we have and make sure that we get some of this coming down off the rocks. It's so important when we have foam coming down off the rocks that you can feel that it's going in a path, not just slash slash. I think we so much talent in our group, but yet sometimes there's just little shortcuts that shouldn't be taken. Oh, I like what that does. Now let's take and put some more of this blue foam just a little bit off the rocks, and we can eventually go just a little lighter in there too. A little bit more over here too. See, what I'm doing now is I put this on. It makes it like there's really been some water hitting that, but at the same time, it sort of disguises a little bit. So this isn't such an isolated wave. I like that very much. Okay, let's come with some more of the gray foam in there. Now the thing I want to watch is behind now my new splash. So I'll take some of that blue that I used for the splash and just push the sky up, or the sky a little bit more. We do have a distant mountain. I don't think I'll let it come over as far as it was. Instead, we'll let it come down in here. This is a great brush. Don't ask for it by name. Let's see there, and we'll see. We'll put some more color in eventually there. Okay, now let's see what we can do as far as a real good light in here. And the place I say in here is right in there. Can you see when I wipe, it isn't necessary to wipe to get it, but that's where the previous rock was over there. So now I'm going to go with my lighter light and this will give me some good light there. I have a mop brush, which is great because you can put good quantity on and it will hold it. Always conscious of form. I'll put a little bit of this down here, but it doesn't compete with that which is so important up above. I have one little dark hole there that we need to cover. And then what I think is so important, I forget who it was when we were critiquing the seascapes. It's right along there. You just can't have where it's a iron rod. It's a good thing I didn't remember names. That would have hurt somebody, right? Okay, because we have extended that over, then I can see a reason for coming with a little bit more of this dark inside. So I'm going to take my blue, phthalo blue, touch of Van Dyke brown. Let's come over. How far can we go? We can go there. We'll just make that a little stronger and then decide if we can go any further. Now you realize this is not one that I'm showing you the technique how to do from one that I've done, that I have sitting in front of me. This I'm doing for the first time, and it's a little bit of guesswork for me too. And you hope you guess right. Okay, so do we need anything else there? This was previously there. I feel like it's just a little sharp, so I'm going to come with just a slight bit of the bluish gray, so it doesn't end quite as sharp as it was. Now, because I've done that, let's look down below in the wave. See this? There's no hardness on the bottom. There's no hardness here, but let's go just a little lower so it isn't necessarily such an even band along there. That's another thing to watch. You come down, but it has some variety on lengths. And then if we have just a little bit of that highlight, which we've put up here, if we come down just a little bit there, when we do it, and I'll come over to the left a little further, when we do it, account for the form. This light does not touch the dark. Who am I yelling at? Probably Lori. She's one of my favorite people. As you all are. Gee, it's always dangerous when you mention names and you think, oh gee, I told you eating supper once and praising one of my children for a nice job he did on the lawn, and my daughter says, that means you don't like me. Praising somebody else. Oh, so untrue. Let's go just a little bit in here. And then we have a kind of an important area right between those rocks. So if we put some light against that, and when I do that, I'm making it so it is sharp, and then it will feel like the water is behind the rock. It's not on it. But as we said, this isn't the first wave of the day. So we can put just a little light on some of this gray that's coming off there. So you can find what brushes do you like best? Do you want to use a knife? You can use a knife. Okay, let's put just a little bit lighter as we go in here. Now, when I put it in here, I'm pushing quite a bit, so it's light, but not as light as that's out in the open. And this one can be a little lighter down there because it's more out in the open. And while I'm here, let's just go ahead in this one. Just let it be a little more significant by the splash up. It'll be a nice foundation for looking at this area. This is so much fun. I'm so glad we're doing this, Lori. We just make everything a little bit better. We thought this had made the wall, but it came back. I brought it back. So you wonder, do you ever make a mistake where you think, oh, gee, I corrected it, but I ruined it? Of course that happens. Of course that happens. Here's another fan brush, just lightly touching that. Oh, I loves it. I loves it. I loves it. So this, Lori, we'll need to add this to that ocean that was previously finished on our series. You guys, that series, it's everything you want to know about art. Oh, and how to do it. Let's come over here.
Hey, Buck, I hope you wore the same shirt. Just kidding.
Gee, that hurt. Oh, did you see my shirt? My Y shirt? I graduated, oops, now can we get this thing back? I graduated from BYU, so I have this shirt with a big Y on it. Okay, now let's go over to the eye of the wave. And I want to raise it up just a little bit more to add emphasis to this moving through there. You just reaching, there you are. It's kind of like you raised your hand, but I don't want to hear what you want to say. Okay, let's see if I wrote down, oh, let's oh my gosh. Well, white and blue and a little bit of yellow. That's the greenish we want. And we'll come over here, and I want to go just a little bit higher. So it'll give some power. Gee, I don't like that green very much. Let me see if I can use a little yellow and blue. It'd be nice if you were prepared, but no, it's not. It's all right. Oh, loves it, loves this opportunity. Oh, close enough, almost the same thing. So we'll put this on, and I'll arch it a little bit there. We're trying to make it just a little larger. And it's so important to have a nice gradation. I don't really think I have a nice gradation yet. So let's take some of the blue and on the brush, and we'll put it in here and then blend it. Blend it up so it softens. Oh, that creates a place where we're going to put foam patterns, which I want to talk about anyway. And then, of course, you can always go a little lighter right in the eye itself. So you have one spot that's lighter. Good job, you betcha. Okay, let's talk about foam patterns since we have brought up the subject. I want to show you something. Let's see if you can see this. Don't take foam patterns like you would spaghetti and just drop them all down the same size. Great, great demonstration, but what I mean is the foam patterns are the previous wave, and the wave comes in and floats around, and then as the water goes back, these little foam pattern shape, but there's a lot of it that's very heavy in size, large in size, I guess is the way you say heavy in size. Let's see what brush I want there. Okay, I have a liner brush and I have a twiggy brush. We'll take the twiggy brush first, and I've kind of loaded the whole thing with a little oil and the blue. Now I'll come up. Nothing different than what you do, right? To start with. But there, see now what I'm doing, I'm making some of them larger at the bottom. And when we go up higher, the light is coming from behind. It's a see-through. Oh, I like that. Okay, let's come down with some lights. And when we put the lights in, they're the same lights we had over there. And in this area is where they would be light. See, they haven't gone up into the eye, therefore they're out in the open. And then what we're going to do is just take a large brush, just a minute. Oh, there's so much that I want to do before I can put you on the wall. Gee, we may have to do a little work next time. We'll see. And my producer's saying, Buck, if you don't finish it, there'll be no next time. They didn't say that. Now, down below, I want to have some good foam. Let's see here. Let's see. You got that? Okay. Very light, and I have a lot of paint on the brush. Look at the size of that, Billy. Look at the size of those. This is the previous wave, so it's large. It is large. And as we go over to the left, we won't put on quite as much, but we'll put some on down here. And I want that to come up there. So it kind of, let's see, I don't think you can quite see that, can you? Let's go down there. Okay. Thanks, Buck. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a marvel to feel, in this case, to feel the ocean under my hands. I can feel it moving. Let's see, there. I sort of need something over on the right side. Let's have a second one down here. Oh, gee, I was so hesitant about going through that name, but we did it. A little bit behind there. Now let's see what we need to do, what we have. Oh, gee, where are you? White. Oh, I see you. I see you. You're hiding my white. My white. The other thing about down on the foam is there's a certain thickness. I'm all right. So a thin line along there, and then you can put a little dark under it, but you also can have just a little. And when I put a dark line under this, you'll see more of what I'm talking about. That gives me a little thickness. Now let's put that dark line. See if I have it kind of intermittently like that. Then you'll feel like there's a width to this foam that's coming in. I'm going to put a little dark here and there on the beach. What does that represent? Well, that's water. And put just a little opening in there. Now, what you sometimes can do, but you have to do it cautiously, you can have little openings in the foam, which gives almost the same shape of the little variety of shapes, sizes. Okay, let's see what we have. And I have, and just darken that behind there. Let's go up to the sky for a minute. The the thing I have there is I have a good sun. Let's see, where's my good fan brush? Are you good? You're sort of good. So I have clouds there, but there happens to be, let's see, maybe I better just check and see if you can see that sky a little bit. Yeah, like that, almost like that. So we have nice clouds here, but there's quite a jump from here up to there. So I'm going to take a little light color. Do I have a formula on this, you ask? Let's see. Foam patterns, white, lower clouds. Okay, so I have white and a little touch of blue, a little touch of alizarin. And I'm looking in here. And as I come down, of course, I'll want to fade a little bit so that they don't overpower the splash up wave. We do have some light there already, so I'm just making it a little bit more consistent with the new stuff over here to the left. And you notice now, from having done that, notice that edge. It's definite, but it's not a hard edge to walk on. And that's what I find with a lot of seascapes that are done. That edge is so hard. I don't know if you say so definite or hard is the word that I've come up with, and I'm sticking with it. I want to, as I come over there, notice that just a smallest amount of light on the top there. And again, it's a dancing light. How that makes that stand away from the background. Okay, let's put just a touch stronger right in there too. Now it's small, but there's just a little gray along there that separates the foam from the eye. But to make sure that that is really true, I have a little dark, the blue, just coming a little bit there. You need to do that subtly so we don't create too definite of an edge, too hard of an edge. Like this might be a little hard, just soften it. Okay, if the nice thing about this, I can look at the monitor that's on my screen. I can see it full size, and it's so helpful. I use a mirror when I'm doing my own painting to look at. So this is even better. I like that. Okay, now I have a question. Are we finished with the lower clouds? Not necessarily so. That this one well. I, I might let this come extend a little bit, but I don't really want to compete with the foam below it, the foam splash up. Okay, I have a question I want to ask myself. Mountain you have behind there stops right there. I don't know if that is good or not. So would it be better if we came down a little lower with, and in doing so, I would want to make sure that I'm not too dark. So I'm thinking. Let's try this instead. Let's just soften that a little bit and see if that might be better. But anything new like that, it kind of jumps out at me. So that's just almost a little too much. So I'll take some of the blue and come back just a little bit. Yes, I don't, you don't think what? Don't want to come any lower out here. I think that would weaken it. So let's look then. What do we want to do now? We have just this little. Let's work up slightly there, so I don't have that strong blue there. Let's go a little high with this, and it's not as light. I like the aspect of this being the strong light. Tuffy on the block. Did you know my nickname in high school was Tuffy? I was in a basket game once, and I don't remember what happened. And this guy up and he pushed me in the chest. I got to shoot some free throws. Never running back or anything. We were out of town, vested in. But ever after that, the name Tuffy stuck with me for another couple years. Ugh. Anyway, Tuffy is now over on this side. We'll push this up slightly. I kind of feel like the edge of wave over to the right. I want to make sure we're strong enough right in here. Yeah, it doesn't have to be real strong. In fact, times what I'll take, for instance, right above there, that may seem a little even along there. So I'll take and just a little blue on the brush and narrow that slightly. Not as even thing, but just kind of dances along there. And then, of course, what's sometimes helpful in the splash over, and that's what I'm calling this, the dump. If you have just a little continuation, just a little bit of the foam, the lighter light. Yeah, I believe that's what I want. Okay, let's see what else we can do. We can probably go a little stronger on a second splash up, and that would be right in here. It seems so silent when I'm not hearing anybody say anything. It's just not fair. Okay, let's see. I feel just, Lori talked to me. I feel like taking a little blue.
I'm not sure if you can hear me. The problem is my internet's not stable.
Oh, okay.
What I was trying to say to you earlier, Buck, is that you have all the time you want. We'll get on and watch you do this every day if you want to.
Well, on the same painting or on different ones?
Well, you know what? You've changed the ready for the wall to a ready for the wall again.
Now look at this area in here. It needs to have just a little more form, so the light can't come down that far. Yeah, that's better. And let's see, I have a pretty good dark there, but let's just emphasize it. And where I'm speaking of is at the bottom of the wave, right in here. I like what that does. And you know, even though it's dark, you might feel a little sharpness there, but it's not really wrong or feels wrong, because if that were real light, it would. And then as we come over, once in a while, we just sneak a little bit in. And as I come there, I feel, let's see, I just put it in there. Let's come down then, and I'll see if the camera will come with me. Let's put some of the dark in here too. This will be such a help for the forerunner. The small wave before the large wave is what I mean by the forerunner. A little bit there, a little bit here. Now I see over in here, I have a dark there coming up. And then this one, I kind of feel, rather than going back, if I could come down just a little bit, it'd be more moving towards us. Just a little bit in here, give a little rise there, so you kind of feel there's another wave, just a small one, so the water isn't totally flat. The thing I debated about too, and I'm going to go ahead and do it, is if this rock has a mate, it would help a little bit towards sweeping into the composition. Oh. And of course, just a little blue on that would help too. I think a little on there. And let's put just a little blue on there, which will shade it slightly, because it's being shaded by these rocks slightly. Ooh, where's my knife? I found you. Okay, what I just, in coming across, I realized I need to have a strong light. Now, the sun is coming straight down, but the trees are blocking a little bit, so it wouldn't be wrong to have a little lighter light on the beach. And let's kind of advance towards the left. Put a little gray there, not quite as large. And then I'm just blending along to disguise this line a little bit. And somebody can say, well, if you don't want it on your wall, we can have it on mine. I love the use of the knife. Okay, let's see what we have. There. I just feel, and I'm going to take blue and white. It's a little darker than what I've been using. So that the rock doesn't look just too brown. This is one reason why I like having a mirror next to me when I paint, because you get that reverse image, fresh view, and that seems to help. Let's go just a little darker with what we've done, and I'm taking Van Dyke Brown and coming down here. So that is a nice smash for that wave to hit against. Just a little gray on it will help. And as we go over to the right, I'm taking some of the Van Dyke Brown and just slightly there. Let's give it a check and see. Yeah, I think that will help. I'm going to push this in so that little edge is filled in. Yeah, that works. Oh, what would happen if, I'm kind of wondering about over in here. What if I had just the smallest touch of dark there? It would just suggest the water. It would move the wave up more that way. Just a discovered dark, so it doesn't compete. Well, let's make it compete a little bit. I keep wanting to say perfect, but it's not. That'll work. That'll work. This just a little softening there. Looking over at the monitor, it helps to see what's happening there. That little shape was a little bothersome, so now it's flat. You're a little bothersome. Put just a little blue on you. And I kind of feel like I like this foam coming across there, but it's all the same value. How come? It needs to have form, so it's like that. Gosh, this is such a great opportunity for you to watch what I do, and not just starting from some painting that I know how to do and I'll give you the steps. Boy, this is learning for me as well, and taking a chance. Let's move the camera just slightly because there is that corner. And maybe just a little wetness on the sand. And I think, Lori, I think we'll stop there. And then if there's any questions, we can address them.
Yes, I have a question. Buck, you've painted all over the thing. Are you starting on a dry canvas, or are you using the magic clear before you do it?
That's an excellent observation. I had planned to put, it was dry canvas. I had planned to oil it out, but I didn't do it. So whatever, I had a little oil on the brushes, I'd take each something, you know, like when I put on the foam, I had just the smallest amount of oil in it to make it move. But that's a great question.
So did you find it easier working on a dry canvas with the oil on your brush in comparison to, you know, having some magic clear on the canvas before you start?
I would prefer the clear on the canvas before I start.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It's a good question.
Is that bigger than normal, than you normally do? That looks bigger.
This is 24 by 36, Billy.
All right.
Just a minute, I need to push this button that says start my video. But you, Billy, you're aware of what I was saying about the foam patterns. So it's not just all the same size over the whole lower part.
Yes, I know. I know you're saying. And then, do you find it harder when you do them bigger ones? Because I kind of do.
When I do what?
When you do the bigger paintings than the smaller ones.
Well, it's just nice variety.
Like, I feel like I got to go over way over many times to get where I want to be. Like the one I told you don't poke your eyes out about. That one there. No, after I see this, I need to redo the whole thing.
I look at the comments and, you know, on the paintings on Facebook, and a lot of them are so congratulatory. Is that the word? But I think there's still things to do. So anyway,
No,
I don't mean just on yours. I mean on a lot of the different work.
I take it as I like when you do that. That's you know, you're helpful.
Thank
And
you.
I always take it in a good way. Don't ever think that I take it badly.
Well, you're a super friend.
Thank you. You are too.
It's fantastic watching how you took one picture and made it into another just by adding different things. It's beautiful. I can see that water moving.
Yeah, it's good, and you can, you know, the before when it was so short in here, it just, your eye was held right there. Now it kind of moves through the painting, I think, and I like the changes that were made. And of course, there was no practice to do this. It was all done before your eyes. Thinking in advance what I would like to do was there, but not doing any of it. It was it's a little bit of an adventure.
That and adding that little one on the right-hand bottom, it does push that water, make it look like it's pushing that water.
Great.
Buck, one of the things that I really love about this is that you're showing us that no matter what, we can always go back, and as we improve and as we grow as artists, we can look at paintings that we've done in the past, and we can go on and change, and we can go on and make them better. And you're giving us the courage to not be afraid to try that. And Billy, I'm thinking about your painting. Boy, you have so much good in your painting that I wouldn't start over from scratch. I would certainly just work on it because there's a lot of good in that painting.
Thank you. Yes, yeah. I don't think I would start from scratch. I would just keep, like, you know, fixing the foam. And my thought was that was going to be underneath reflections in the water in the dark areas. But sometimes you see the like when you're in the water, you kind of see that. But it's not done yet. Don't count me out yet.
Okay.
Well, we thought this one was done.
Yeah, we sure did. And I think we had, Lori, don't you think?
Say that again, Buck.
I felt that we helped it, and I was hoping you felt the same.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, anybody have any questions for Buck or comments?
Okay, the reason that you moved that rock in the first place was because you thought it was drawing too much attention to the center. Did I get that right?
No, I felt the wave was too compact, too short. And I didn't
Okay.
feel it had a real flow towards the rock and the sky and so on.
Okay, thank you.
That was after you, like, when you get like 10 feet away and walk back up on a painting and you see that, you're like, oh, I gotta do that.
Yeah, and the other thing, having that mirror is just absolutely necessary. Boy, I've just gone through these names, Lori. We got a lot of people there. I so appreciate everyone watching. So we're going to do this next week. I'll find another painting that needs some help. So I'm ready.
That's fantastic, Buck. Thank you so much. So we'll schedule that. So just keep watching the Facebook and the emails, guys, and we'll let you know when Buck will be back. Because Buck, we really appreciate this, that we can come on and watch you work like this. Because just imagine, you guys, how often do we get to be in a master artist studio watching him work, and not only watching him work, but listening to what his thought process is as he's working is just, it's an amazing opportunity that we're really grateful for, Buck.
Yeah, it's you know, it's always nice to show somebody something and start from the blank canvas to finish. But boy, it's nice to show something that has had a lot of work done on it, and then to make it better.
I said, don't forget to buy your magic paintbrushes at Alexander Art. It doesn't work without them, I don't think.
Well, I'll just tell you that we work pretty hard to make sure that they're the best quality we can possibly get, and that the specs don't really change to way they were developed. And our line of brushes were developed by these master artists. So like the Hake brush and the Mock brush, and some of those brushes were introduced to us by Buck. And so we have spent, we worked really hard to make sure that we've kept the same quality that they loved and introduced us to way back when.
Yes, that Hake brush is great.
All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and close the meeting. Thanks again for coming on, and it's great to see everybody again. And we'll plan to do this again next week.